monitoring is the northbound lanes of the bridge you see behind me. The Clark Memorial Bridge, they're going to be closed down, carrying traffic from Louisville to southern Indiana, and they've been closed since last Wednesday.
Yeah, it's been a nuisance, to say the least, for those who rely on the bridge daily. WHAS11's Connor Stephan and photojournalist Aspen Hester talked to commuters and business owners who are really bearing the brunt here.
As repairs to the 2nd Street Bridge stretch into a second week.
Honestly, I've not seen a whole lot of difference.
Businesses in Jeffersonville say they've hardly noticed.
So I haven't seen a whole lot of impact. There maybe is a slight minimal impact, if anything. We are close enough to the walking bridge that we get a lot more foot traffic than we do of the driving traffic.
If anything, Chris Meyer, who is a manager at Red Yeti, says business has picked up this week.
We're excited about that, and thankfully, people are still keeping us in mind despite the bridge woes.
Very stressful, very hectic.
Ask Mike Vitito about the bottleneck on the bridge, and you'll hear a whole different story.
Here's the thing, like with any of the repairs, these are things that absolutely have to be done, should be done. But I think on the end of city planning and stuff like that, I think that's where it's been lacking.
Vitito says he commutes from Louisville to southern Indiana just about every day.
Well, now I'm kind of forced to take the Kennedy. Of course, there's tolls involved in that, so that's been a little bit less, a little more unpleasant. And the traffic being funneled that way, there's a noticeable difference.
Crews will begin temporary rolling roadblocks on the 2nd Street Bridge Monday, narrowing traffic to a single southbound lane. That will take place between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, and will kick off with a temporary closure of the entire bridge.
Heard that earlier this week.
What was your reaction to that?
Dire panic.
Connor Stephan, WHAS11 on your side.
There are a couple of alternative routes that you can take today for both the north and southbound closures. The Sherman-Minton or the Lincoln and Kennedy bridges will get you across the river. Transportation officials expect all 2nd Street Bridge repairs to be complete by mid-April.
New this morning, Metro Police are searching for a suspect in a deadly shooting outside of a White Castle. This happened just after 11 o'clock last night in the parking lot of the restaurant at 7th and Algonquin Parkway. Police say they couldn't find a victim at the scene. Shortly after, they discovered that a man had been taken to U of L hospital by private means, but he died before he got there.
About an hour later, officers responded to a report of a stabbing on East Broadway in the Smoketown neighborhood. Metro Police say they found a man hurt near the railroad bridge. The man was unconscious when EMS arrived and took him to U of L hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police say no arrests have been made and there are no suspects right now. So if you know anything about either of last night's deadly incidents, you're asked to call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD or leave a tip through the online portal.
The Louisville Metro Housing Authority is set to join Mayor Craig Greenberg today to give us an update on the improvements being made at Dosker Manor. The public housing community has been plagued with reports of mold, bugs, and safety concerns. In fact, just last week, a woman was shot in the hand by a stray bullet while just sitting inside her apartment. Recently appointed LMHA Executive Director Elizabeth Strojan is spearheading a series of initiatives aimed at increasing the safety of the residents at the West End apartment complex.
These problems have been decades in the making. We do not have decades to fix these problems. My first impression of Dosker Manor was that it's unacceptable going forward, what we need to prioritize and what needs to happen with that property to bring it back into good repair for the people who live there.
Today's announcement will give Dosker Manor residents a chance to see what supportive services LMHA plans to roll out in the coming months. That's happening at 1:45 today in the A building of Dosker Manor.
The conversation surrounding transportation in JCPS will come to a head this week. Tomorrow, the district is planning to vote on how it'll transport students next school year. JCPS recently released the options it's considering. One would cut all transportation for magnet and traditional school students. In a survey sent out to parents, JCPS called this plan the most equitable with the least negative impact on students of color, but the NAACP disagrees. The organization says the district hasn't given parents and the community adequate time to respond and react to the plan, and some parents we spoke with agree.
It's just not the best option. So these kids that are in these magnet schools, they've made bonds.
Just for us to not be able to go there anymore, I feel like it was a waste of our time. We've grown bonds, we've grown like families at Central.
The other options JCPS is considering include creating a hub for bus pickup and drop-off, providing bus service only to schools that meet a threshold of economically disadvantaged students, or keeping things as they are. The vote is expected at the district's next board meeting tomorrow night at 6.
Today, U of L medical students will unveil a new project aimed at providing free menstrual products to the community. The free pantry will have things like tampons, hygiene wipes, and other products for anyone that needs them, especially those who are low income or experiencing homelessness. Today's unveiling will take place at noon at the first location set to open. That's going to be at Preston Street and Muhammad Ali Boulevard in front of the U of L School of Medicine. A second one will be placed at Chestnut and Floyd Streets, with more pantries planned throughout Louisville.